question for you. Do you like birds? Eight Eyes on the NES is a side-scrolling action game that has you playing as Orin the Falconer out to save the imprisoned king. And the only way to do that is to defeat his 8 mad dukes, well, 1 duchess, and take back the magic jewels called the 8 Eyes. But you're not alone in your quest because your bird brain friend Cutris, Cutris has got your back, shoulder. The controls are straightforward in a 2-player game. Player 1 is Orin, and player 2 is the Falcon. As Orin, you can jump with the A button and stab with the B button. Pressing up and A will use your selected sub-weapon, and pressing select will quickly scroll through your sub-weapons. As the bird, you can freely move anywhere on the screen. Pressing down plus B button will dive bomb enemies. Pretty cool. But all the complaints I hear about this game usually stems from a 1-player experience, as you have to control both characters. And you need to use both simultaneously for some of the switch door areas, so that can be an actual real pain. In 1-player mode, pressing up and B releases and calls back the bird, while down plus B dive bombs with the bird like before. I don't mind the 1-player experience, however, it does suck that you can't fly all the way to the top of the screen. You kind of hit like a glass ceiling almost, you can only go so far. That's just something you have to get used to in 8 Eyes, unfortunately. You will notice quite a lot on the heads-up display. The blue bars are your individual health meters for the knight and bird, as well as the red meters, which is your item energy. Kind of backwards, should have flipped that really. Red should be health, always. Each sub-weapon you wrestle off a slain foe will consume red energy, so be careful. There's actually quite a bit of sub-weapons here. The white ball is the best, as it freezes enemies in place, even bosses. There's a flying red ball, Molotov cocktail, knife, boomerang, and even a pistol. I remember using this one a lot as a kid. At the start of the game, you can select from any of the first 7 levels just like Mega Man, while the 8th and final area is only playable when the first 7 are completed, of course. You'll fight in a desert palace in Arabia, enter one of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, explore a cavern in Africa, and so on. And like Mega Man, at the end of each of these stages are the big bad bosses. These dukes are no slouches and can easily tear you a new one if you're reckless. Defeating these guys will net you a new sword, which is a weakness to the next boss you face, and so on and so forth. Trouble is, you need to know which boss is weak to what sword, and unlike Mega Man, you can't switch out swords. So knowing where to go is just the start of the journey. Hidden inside blocks are numerous secrets. Do you like secrets? There's lots of them in 8 Eyes. There's item and health pickup secrets, health and item extender secrets, as well as the most important secrets, clues. Finding them and deciphering them is the only way you can actually complete the game after you win against the final boss. You'll have to place the 8 Eyes on the altars of peace to free the good king. Oh my goodness. Graphically, I think this game looks great. There's lots of detail here, maybe not so much on our heroes, Orin and the bird, even though they look good. But the backgrounds and enemies are the real showstoppers. Each level is filled with muted colors and interesting architecture. Well, maybe not the African fortress, but the statues in Germany, the archways in Arabia, just little things like that that always stood out to me. Also, the enemies are a good mix of humanoids and mutant freaks. You have your standard bats and bugs that fly around in any good old 8-bit NES game, but there's freaks like Mudman, fat mutoids with whips or pitchforks, numerous guards, giant cats, large birds, and martial art cavemen? If you like big bosses, well, this card has that in spades too. Spain is a little drab with green tunic Link wannabe, but Italy looks snappy with dress pants, smoking jacket, and slicked hair. Egypt looks cool too with green robes, balding head, and staff. Really nice sprites here. In fact, something 8 Eyes doesn't get nearly enough praise for are the variety of enemies. Most of them are unique to that stage, which is a very nice touch, and definitely not the norm at the time. The music is probably the highlight of this cart. It's what makes me think of this game every time I think about it. It is at times heroic and bombastic, but also unsettling and creepy. The OST is something totally original and just plain unique. And as something different, there's 3 tracks to each stage, a short intro, main theme, and boss tune. Excellent! The boss fight in India with light piano music is especially unnerving but very effective. 8 Eyes really captured my imagination as a kid. Retromat and I would often rent it at our corner store out in the country. It was one of the first games we ever rented too, so it was really cool. Seeing that awesome box art and screenshots on the back, how could we not rent it? I know a lot of gamers hate on this one. It's not perfect, but it was perfect for us, and it still is. I'm giving 8 Eyes a Silver Maxi Award. Excellent!